Okay, now, from the side it looks like a T, right? Kind of a fat T. Now, what I'm going to do is extend those lines upwards, and I'm going to use this envelope here because it's long, and that will help me keep it square to the bottom of the page. And then I'm going to extend that line upward. Now I'm using a light stroke there, and I'm using a light stroke there because I want to make sure that that's just a guideline, okay? Okay, so now what I'll say is, all right, let's say I'm just going to do a very simple square top to start. So what I'm going to do is mark off, that's my width, and then I'm going to line up here, making sure it's as parallel as possible. Okay, so that's the bottom. And then what I'll do is, all right, so I know that this area here is the width of the stool. Then I go up here, and I know that the stool, I want it to be square, so it's going to be right there. And then what I can do is double check on the other side that it will come up to here, and then I know, connect these two. Okay, and then I'm gonna go over this a little bit heavier. Okay, so from the top, very simple stool. And then, let's say what I really wanted was that from the top, this is kind of boring, so I want to add a little bit of kind of emphasis to it. Maybe I'll create these kind of 45-degree cutouts. Okay, so now what we need to do is, what I'll do is I'll make these parallel to the bottom and just do a little note at the bottom, on this bottom one. So now you can start to see here that this, you might not be certain what's happening, but you have a sense that there's something going on. And actually from this I can tell, ooh, my lines are off, so I would need to adjust that, right? Because this one is not as wide as this one. So I'll adjust that. And if I adjust that, that means really that's adjusting this, which then means I'm adjusting here. Okay. So again, the more kind of, if you have graph paper, that's going to help in all these situations. Okay, and then what I would do is I would kind of erase these bits because that will make the drawing more confusing. Okay, and then the final piece. So now we've got this kind of stool taking shape. So you can start to see that, oh, this top view is actually revealing information that the side view was not. And then here, this is just, now we know that whatever is happening with this stool, it's only this high, so that creates a guideline. Then I'll use my envelope to create another guideline. And then along the bottom, another one. Okay. So then from the side, now here again, since we know the stool is square, we know that the top is going to be, it's going to be the same width. So I'm going to use that same kind of indicator I had over here. Here it's kind of shrunk in on the side. Here it could be something totally different. So this is something that, now again, what I'll do is I'm going to extend those lines downward. And maybe from this side, this stool has I'm just doing a quick measurement. You should make sure these are precise. So now you can see from this view, the stool is actually, it's a trapezoid from one angle, but it's kind of an extended trapezoid. And then what I would do now is, now that I've got my base drawing, I would go over it with maybe I'm not quite ready for a flare pen, but I've got a slightly darker ink pen, and I would say, okay. And now I'm just covering the lines where they would be. All right, so any of my working lines, this is where I'll leave those out.